All right, we are officially recording. Hi, everyone. I hope you guys are having a good evening. I'm out here in California, and so it's like practically dark now, but just kind of getting there. But I know for some of you guys on the call, it's pretty late and you're all cozy. You probably just had dinner, which is really the cool thing about our team. We've got people all across the country, and we're just now starting to expand all around the world. And these calls always give me a chance to talk to people all over the place. My name is Z Slingsby, and the team that you are invited to view today is called TeamInspired. And I'm gonna share my story with you guys. I'm gonna share a little bit about my team. I'm gonna give a couple of the coaches on our team a chance to tell their story. And you know, every time I do one of these coach sneak peeks, I get really excited about sharing my story today, but it also gives me a chance to go back and think about who I was 2.5 years ago when I first decided I wanted to become a Beachbody coach. And I will tell you guys, I never had a formal introduction to coaching. So what you're getting to see today, I knew nothing when I became a coach. I really knew nothing. I had done a program. I hadn't even finished a program though. I was just a couple weeks into trying a program. I knew that I loved the atmosphere. I loved the support. I was surrounded by people that were very motivating, and I felt like that was helping me in a lot of areas in my life, not just health and fitness. And I thought, you know what, if there's people all around the country that can do this, and they're motivating other people, then why can't I? And I, on a whim, went online and I signed myself up to be a coach, and then somehow in the next 2 years started figuring things out. So I will tell you today, if you're listening to this, and if there's any part of my story or my coach's story that relates to you, and you feel that pull of like, I really think there's a part of me that could do this, you're gonna probably have a lot more information than I did, and run with it. That's really the only thing that I did 2.5 years ago. So I'm gonna go ahead and start a presentation. I'm gonna cut it off in the middle, have a couple coaches share their story, and then finish up and then give you guys a chance. Some of you are hopping on live, some of you are gonna catch the video later, so I'll give you a chance to ask questions and we'll take it from there. All right, so I am going to share my screen with you guys. And can you guys still see me?
Yeah.
In the little corner, okay, perfect. So TeamInspired is the name of the team that I founded 2.5 years ago. And the idea behind the name is that we stay inspired by inspiring others. It was really important to me when I started this that, yes, I want to coach other people, but I also needed it to be about myself too, because health and fitness was something in my life that I never quite felt like I had figured out. I was kind of always on these ups and downs. And so it was important that if I was going to lead other people, that I was going to have my own results too, and that I was going to inspire myself. And I found that by leading other people and inspiring other people, it kept me inspired. My husband is the gentleman that you see on the left, and he was the very first coach to join me. Thank goodness, because I will tell you, you can do this on your own, but the support of your loved ones, whether it's a spouse or a friend or a sibling, makes this a lot more fun. It makes this business really exciting. So he was the very first coach on my team, and now our team is over 200. The very center is a very important little piece of recognition that our team is going for 2017, and we've got 2 more weeks to find out if we made it, and we're doing really well. So keep your fingers crossed for us. My team has worked very, very hard to make this happen. And the picture on the right, that is from the Beachbody Summit that I went to in Nashville 2 years ago. It is a picture from the largest workout in North America. 25,000 coaches, all of us working out outside together with all of the super trainers. Probably one of the coolest experiences I've ever done in my entire life. And that is an event that any coach can attend. So if you were to join the team, the last 2 years I've gone, my coaches have come with me. I'll get a house for us, just depending on where we're at. This next one's in Indianapolis, and it's an incredible experience. Okay, so I want to tell you guys a little bit about who I am. When I first became a coach, I was working in corporate America. I was a director of sales in an HR company. I have a finance background. So my background in college has nothing to do with health and fitness. And I never went back to school for health and fitness. So my degree has nothing to do with this field. And I say that because one of the first things that people tell me is, I'm not an expert in health and fitness. And you don't need to be. That's really important at Beachbody because the company is an expert. You need to be someone who cares about other people. And I'll talk a little bit more about your role. But my background had nothing to do with health and fitness, but I've always cared about leading other people. And I've always recognized that health and fitness needed to be in my life. I just wasn't sure how I could make it a regular part of my life. I am a wife. I'm a fur baby mom, and hopefully my husband and we're hoping to start a family soon. I started as a challenger, so I did the program myself for a couple of weeks, and then I became a coach. I had a really bad experience in network marketing. So if you're not sure what network marketing is, the Beachbody platform is part of network marketing, and that is where you have the opportunity to promote products and build a team, and you're representing in our case, we're representing $1 billion company, but I work for myself. I had a very bad experience in the past, and I was one of those people that was like, the minute someone came up to me and wanted to pitch me about starting a business, I was like, nope, not interested, don't talk to me. And I wouldn't even entertain the idea of a network marketing company because I had such a bad experience. So you're probably wondering how I ended up at Beachbody. The truth is I never thought about it as a business. I did the program, and the only person I really cared about was myself. I needed to see my own health and fitness. I needed to improve my health. I needed to feel better. And then my friends started coming up to me and saying, oh my gosh, what are you doing? We want to do it too. And so I never went into it with the idea of making money. I went into it because I loved it. And then everything else just started to kind of, roll into place. I think if I had overthought it in the beginning, I may have never made this decision. And so I'm really glad that I didn't associate my passion for living a healthier life with network marketing and that bad experience that I had. I had a really bad social media existence. Like it was absolutely pathetic. And I get a lot of coaches that tell me like, well, what if my social media isn't that strong? I had less than 200 friends on social media. My Facebook was private. My Facebook is still private, so I will tell you guys that. My Facebook is still private, but I will teach you guys how to build that. I was just not a Facebook person, and it wasn't really something that I understood, nor did I even care about. But I will teach you guys how to use it the right way. In less than 2 years, our team is ranked in the top 200, and there's over 450,000 coaches in the network. So in less than 2 years, we're in the top point. What is that, like 4%? It's less than even 1%. Hopefully soon to be elite. We've got 2 more weeks until we find out. I'm a Star Diamond Elite qualifying coach, and my husband is a Diamond coach. And those are just ranks that means, we've built a strong team. That's what that means. On the right-hand side, I want to talk to you guys about the picture in the bottom. That was a picture from my corporate world. And I think that's probably one of the most important moments in my career because that's when I was making pretty good money. I was on a path where people in my company were looking at me and saying like, okay, what do you want next? Like, what's your future going to look like? And that future looked very successful to me. That future looked like there was a lot of money involved, but it looked very tiring. It looked exhausting. I couldn't find my husband in that future. And when I saw people above me in those roles, I saw them on a plane traveling every single day. I saw them away from their family, away from their kids, away from their spouses. I saw them overweight, depressed, stressed, and unhappy. And as exciting as it was to be pretty young in corporate America and people were looking at me saying, this is what you could do next, I really was losing a lot of sleep at night thinking about what is my life going to look like. And at that time, 2.5 years ago, I wasn't even married yet. We were engaged. And I remember thinking like, I'm starting this new life with somebody that I love, my best friend. we don't even have a family yet, and I'm already feeling like I don't have a life, like I'm living just to work. And I really didn't think that I could ever change my situation. So on the outside, you might have looked at me and thought, oh, she's got it all together. I was living in San Francisco, you know, career looks great on the outside. I was panicked every single day thinking about where my life was headed. And I truly believed there was no other option for me. I would just have to keep going down this path. So I want to keep telling you guys about the team and kind of how I ended up over here. TeamInspired is my team of coaches. You're going to hear from a couple of them today. And it is what I consider my baby. This team is, I see so many teams in the network. This team is such a hardworking, passionate group of people. And when I talk to my coaches, I feel like I get to talk to my friends. What's really awesome about building your team at Beachbody is you get to pick who you're going to work with. And I'll tell you guys, I don't invite everybody to sit on these calls or to consider coaching. I don't look at coaching as, oh my gosh, whoever wants to do it, you should do it. There are people that I want to work with. And if you were invited to this call, it's because I or someone on my team admires something about you. Because we get very close, you guys, and we want to spend our time with people that we admire, people that lift us up, people that make us better, people that challenge us, people that we want to go on these trips with. So if you look below, Punta Cana on the left, that was my very first year as a coach. So right away, you have the opportunity to earn some of these reward trips. Beachbody takes you on these trips depending on certain milestones that you hit. The first one was Punta Cana, and not only did I qualify, I qualified my husband as well. And then this year is the Riviera Maya, and I've got a couple coaches going to this event. My husband and I qualified again. Not only that, but I myself take certain coaches on the team when they hit certain ranks on what I call an elite trip, and we have one planned for this March. We are a very hardworking, passionate team, but we love to have fun. And so there's a ton of opportunity to surround yourself by strong individuals that are motivating, that are going to make, truly going to make your life better, not just from a business perspective, but in so many other areas as well. Okay, this is where I'm going to stop. I've got some of my coaches here and their stories, but you guys are going to get to actually hear from them live. So I've invited Jen and Janelle to talk about coaching and their experience. So I'm going to have Janelle go first because I think, Jen, your video might be off. So Janelle is a pretty new coach on the team, but she is what I would consider a runner, someone that, you know, started, I don't even know if you're barely a month in, right, Janelle?
Yeah, I think like about 5 weeks.
I love it. So it's perfect because I really want people to understand, you know, your thought process before you joined, what were your hesitations, and then what the experience has been like. So tell us a little bit about you, who you are, and your coach story.
All right. Well, I'm Janelle, and I have a husband, Isaac. We've been married a little over 2 years, and we had our son he's 14 months. He was 14 months just like a couple days ago. And I've always enjoyed, you know, working out, fitness, all that. But I really started to take things serious after I had my son because I gained, oh boy, almost 50 pounds. And I was always like super duper skinny, always. I didn't know what it was like to get on a scale and see it go up. And so, you know, after I had my son, I was like, I've got to get back to where I was or where, you know, I feel like I need to be now. And my husband is I would consider a bodybuilder. I mean, he's very fit. He loves to lift weights. And we basically have a little home gym right at our house. So I say that because he was my biggest supporter in getting, fit and healthy again after I had my son. And, every day we would go work out and he would just push me to, be a better person. And, even on the days that I was so tired being a new mom and discouraged at where I was, and I didn't feel like I was making good enough progress, he was there to help me. And, I started sharing my journey on social media. I was kind of like Z, though. I wasn't a big social media person, but just in the last year or so, I started to post more things, and especially on Instagram. I just got Facebook right after I started coaching. But I started sharing my journey, and I would have different girls get a hold of me, like, what are you doing? You look great. What's going on? Like, can you give me any tips and stuff? And of course, I always, message them back, and I just really love to help, and it was becoming quickly my passion. And one day, my cousin, which she's going to be talking next, she messaged me, and she said, I had seen a couple of her posts that she was, a health and fitness coach. And she messaged me and she said, I think that you would be incredible at this, and you're already sharing your fitness journey through social media, and I just think you would be a really great fit. You're hardworking and all that. And so I got on a call with her and Z, and they talked over, what all was involved in coaching. And I said, okay, I got to talk to my husband. And we talked about it, and he is a very supportive person of generally anything that I want to do. And he said, if this is what you want to do, go for it. And so I signed up to be a coach. I think it was Halloween. I think it was, October 31st.
It was. Janelle, before we go further, though, you had some hesitations. So talk a little bit about those hesitations that you had, went from when we talked to when you actually became a coach.
Yes, I did have hesitations. In my heart, I knew I wanted to do it, but some things in my head, they were getting in my way of. I think the biggest one that I had was I can't sell things. I've been a waitress for 7 years. I take orders and give people their food, and hopefully that makes them happy. The biggest area that I was in that I would say was sales. I worked at a JCPenney, and that was my very first job when I turned 16. So the idea of I'm a people person, but the idea of asking someone to buy something was really, really scary. And I thought, I can't do this. Like, I'm okay with giving people advice and talking health and fitness, but the idea of, selling a challenge pack to somebody was really, really scary. And I say that because I didn't let that stop me. I said, okay, I'm going to do this anyway. But that was a really, really big fear that I had. I'm trying to think of.
I also want everyone that's listening to know that over 200 coaches are on TeamInspired, and no one has had a month stronger than Janelle. I don't even know if she knows that yet, but I just saw the numbers come out for November. So for someone being so scared, who doesn't have a background in sales whatsoever, she came out right away and just crushed it. So it's pretty awesome that even regardless of that fear, you're so passionate about what you're doing that it really wasn't selling.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it was too, Jen had gave me a ton of tips and different things like that, but I just looked at it in the way that, you're right, it wasn't necessarily selling a product, but I know where it's going to lead those people and how good they're going to feel about themselves when they lose that weight and when they stick to their plan, because I know what it did for me as a person, and it gave me so much confidence and so much happiness. And
I love it. Well, I'm so glad you're on the team. It's hard to believe it's only been 5 weeks because you're doing so great.
I know. Oh, so much has happened in those 5 weeks. I'm like, whew. Seems like it's been longer.
I know. You kind of become a family with everyone on the team because I feel like I know you so well now.
Yeah, it's just awesome.
I love it. Thank you, Janelle. I am going to actually hand it over to Janelle's coach now, Jen, and have her share her story with you guys. Hi, Jen. So just a little bit of a background, guys, on Jen. Jen and I met online, but we had really no connection except for the fact that she worked for a company that I worked for, but we never even worked for the company at the same time. Just randomly kind of reached out to her. We developed a kind of like I'd say like a relationship over the phone, just kind of getting to know each other, learning about each other. And she's a pretty new coach as well. She broke one of the hardest records to break on our team in her first less than 90 days as a coach. She's a fairly new coach, but a really fast rising leader on the team. And it's crazy because someone I consider a very close friend now, just because I don't think a single day that goes by that I don't talk to her. So I'm excited to hand it over and have you tell your story, Jen.
Thank you, Z. Yes, so like Z said, we met on LinkedIn. I never knew her before Beachbody, but a little bit about me. I am a single mom of a 10-year-old. I actually just got back from his little Christmas concert, and I've pretty much been on my own with him the last pretty much his whole life, 10 years. And so I had actually done Beachbody workouts. Very interesting thing about me, I had done Beachbody workouts the last 3 to 5 years. I've actually been under 5 different coaches, and no one actually ever reached out to me and said, hey, would you ever consider doing this as a business? And the reason I don't think it's because they didn't think I would want to. I was actually working for another direct sales company at the time. And so I think kind of like Z, like on pictures and online, like I, was doing a lot with that company. I was having a ton of fun. I was traveling a lot, super busy. And so I think they just assumed that everything was fine. And so they just would encourage me as a challenger, but they would never actually ask me like, hey, do you want to do this as a coach? But I was one of the people that would watch these coaches on social media, like day after day, Instagram and Facebook, and just watch them, be consistent with working out and be consistent with posting these really positive, encouraging posts, and also just like sharing their heart. And I just kind of like started stalking them, I guess you would say. And so I learned a ton about Beachbody coaching by watching them. And so, I was doing that, and along the way of doing my other company, someone told me that I should give corporate America a try. So I said, okay, I'm always willing to try things. And even though it made me like totally uncomfortable, I kind of did it on a whim, on like a bet. I was like, you know what, I'll just go and do a bunch of interviews and we'll see what happens. And I really didn't think anything would come of it, because I was never in the corporate world ever. I literally worked my own business, and I was a hairstylist before that too. So I just had never been in that arena. So anyway, I started the company that Z had worked at before, and I was doing the corporate America thing. And what looked appealing to me at first, you get to travel and you get to lead this team and all these amazing things about it. Once I got in that world, I realized really quickly that it was not me. I never saw Carter. I was in different states every other week. I was exhausted, and I started the job in April. And from April to August, I think I put on about 25 pounds from eating out and just being on the go all the time. And so Z actually reached out to me in what I would consider kind of the worst timing. It's funny because sometimes you might think like, I don't know if this is a good time for me to try something new or do something different, but it was really not a great time in my life. I was like completely overwhelmed. And, but she reached out to me and she's like, hey, you don't know me, but she was working on a fun fitness group for people in my company. I'm like, well, that's perfect because I am not feeling good about my fitness right now. And so, but she brought up, I was like, but actually, you know what? I've kind of considered being a coach before, and we got to talking. And, I knew that even though it was the worst time ever, I also knew like if I don't start focusing on getting healthy and getting that back in line, like I was just so exhausted and just didn't really on the weekend. I literally probably just slept all weekend. Like it was not good. So anyway, on her birthday, she reached out to me. We had been talking for a little bit, and I really wanted to do it, but kind of like Janelle, I had some things holding me back. Part of me wanted to go back to what I was doing before because it was something I knew. So it's familiar. I'm like, I know I can do it. I know what to do, and I don't really have to learn anything new, and let me do that. But then like something in my heart told me like, I need to do this. And I remember a few days before I started, I got back on social media and I started looking at the coaches, and I started comparing myself to like the top coaches compared to me as a new coach. And I remember I kind of convinced myself like, oh, I can't do this. Like, I cannot get on live videos, and I cannot, post my story. And I'm a pretty guarded person, so I really don't like putting my feelings and thoughts out there. And so I kind of had convinced myself like, I don't really think it's for me, even though I knew I wanted to do it. But that's what fear does to you. Like, you'll literally sit there and you'll tell yourself like all the reasons you shouldn't do it. And then you go to bed and you feel really good about it. Well, Z is amazingly persistent. And so every time I remember like sitting in my office and I looked down at my phone and she's like, hello, here I am. Hello. Like, and she was always really cool about it, just how's it going? And, and so she didn't give up. And I think that's like so amazing about her is that she just kept asking, because I think like she just kind of knew like, you should just do this. And she kept encouraging, but she wasn't like, she was just very like, how do I say it? She wasn't like pushy or annoying, but she's just very persistent. And, with me, if I get busy and stuff like that, but if you're persistent with me, like I'm impressed. Like that impressed me a lot. I'm like,
I really wanted you on the team.
Yeah, so I was like, this girl means business. Like, so I was like, all right. So then she put something out there, and I love helping other people. I for sure, like, I'm always been a huge team player, and I love being a part of teams and working on big goals. And she's like, hey, by the way, it's my birthday, so you kind of need to do this. And so I was like, okay, fine. And yeah, I mean, my first few weeks, I still was kind of like, oh, what am I doing? I don't know anything. But you know what I decided is this is something completely brand new to me. And even though I literally know nothing, I do know how to work out and I can watch a video. And, but I'm really teachable. So I just told myself I'm going to be a like small little kindergartner. And even though it feels stupid because I hate asking for help, I really do. Like I love helping, but I hate asking for help. But I was like, I'm just going to reach out and I'm going to tell Z, like, I don't know what I'm doing. Tell me what I need to do. What do I say to people? How do I share this? And that's literally what I did. And that's the best advice I could ever give anyone. If you feel like, I don't know if I can do this because it's something I've never done before and it's so new. And, what if I'm not even that great? Just be teachable, just be coachable. I mean, you're on an amazing team. So, just plug into things and keep reaching up. And I mean, I think that says a lot to where I've gone, but also, I mean, I've always been a super, super hard worker. So, if you have that work ethic and you're willing to put in that time and be consistent, it definitely pays off. So I'm loving it. I can't wait to see, what the next few months bring. But just like Janelle said, I'm like a proud mama watching her share her story. It's so awesome. But, I just think it's such an amazing opportunity, and there's just so much that is available to us. I mean, today I worked my day in PJs and slippers and had these amazing conversations with my friends about their health and fitness. And I think like every day I'm like, this is really my job. Like my commute is I get out of bed and, I don't always get dressed right away. I just have my pajamas on and I start working. And then I got my makeup on and everything for Carter's concert tonight.
And for us.
Yeah, and for the no, I love makeup, and don't get me wrong, I'm kind of joking, but but really days like that you can literally work from your PJs and on your computer, but it's cool because you can take elements of things you love, because I've always been like the beauty girl, like I love beauty and fashion and now of course fitness and health, and you can take all those things that you love and make it into what you're doing with this, and that's what I think is the coolest thing about it.
Thank you, Jen. What I love most about both of you guys sharing your story for everybody watching this is that both these coaches are pretty new on the team. I mean, less than 6 months, both of them. And if you just kind of see like the presence on the call, and I think back to the first time we talked and both of them had, big doubts and fears, and now to hear them talk with all this confidence, it's really a testament to all of us have that person inside of us that we know we can be, but it's fear and doubt that sometimes starts to creep up and tell us that we can't do that. Because even though I'm a huge believer in personal development and improving on ourselves, these two gals didn't just in 60 days become a new person. That person was already inside of them. But the first time I talked to both of them, there was a lot of doubt and fear. And I think back to myself when I first started, I told you guys I kind of just signed up on a whim. No one really talked to me. But then all of a sudden I went from, oh my gosh, I signed up for something online, but now I actually have to start doing it. And I remember I had that moment when I saw other coaches, and my biggest thing was my body isn't where they are. And I saw these top coaches and they looked so incredibly fit. And I thought, like, how am I going to lead people if I'm not there yet? Which I will talk about. I'll talk a little bit more about that experience and how I was able to be a leader for people, even though, I didn't feel like I was at that finish point in my journey, even though there is no finish point. But in my mind, there was. Like, I had to be a certain place before I could help people. So I'm going to share screen again with you guys and go back to our presentation. And I do want to, I'm not going to go through all their stories, but these are the top coaches on my team. Natasha on the left, who's a vice principal. She's out of Texas. You guys just heard from Jen. Kristen is here in Fresno, California, and she is a mom of 2 girls, and she works full-time in insurance. Wayne on the left and his wife, Jamie, they are what I would consider a power couple. They're both coaches on the team. And we do have a lot of, spouses that work this business together, so it's pretty cool. Stacy in the center, and her husband, Garrett, and they have a little girl. Stacy is a retired math teacher. And then Ashley on the right, her little daughter, Aubrey. Ashley used to work for me in corporate America, actually, and she is now a full-time Beachbody coach / stay-at-home mom. So these are just some of the coaches on our team, but I feel like I would have to add 5 more slides, just the way this team is growing so fast, and so many people are really rising to that rank of top coach pretty quickly. So I want to talk to you guys about what a coach does. And that goes back to my story about, or my biggest fear, I should say. My biggest fear, I got over the social media thing pretty fast. Like, even though I didn't really have a social media presence, I got over it. It was more that I didn't have the 6-pack. I didn't, can someone mute their line? I'm not sure who it is, but there's a little bit of static coming in. That was my biggest fear. It was my own issues with body image. And I finally started understanding why people wanted help. People don't want someone to help them just because that person has a perfect body. What people want, and this is what I wanted, and this is why people join my challenge groups, is people want you to be real. And the truth is, there is no point where you get to in your journey where all of a sudden everything is perfect. Your body is perfect. Everything's perfect. There have been times in my journey over the last 2.5 years where I felt like, oh my God, I am in the best shape of my entire life. But it doesn't mean you're going to stay there. Things can happen. I want to start a family, which means I'm going to go through pregnancy. It doesn't mean that I can't build my business, right? I have to be authentic and real. And our job as a coach is to motivate people and inspire people. You can teach live classes if you want. Some coaches do, but so many coaches don't. What we do is we lead by example, and we are a work in progress. And so one thing that I've always been very, very honest and open about is where I'm at in my journey. If I'm struggling, I share it. If I'm doing well, I share how I got there, so that the people that join me aren't getting this highlight reel on Facebook that looks perfect and they feel like they can never attain that. I'm going to share the good and the bad, and I'm going to share how I overcame it or what I'm doing to improve. And that's your role as a coach. And that's why I believe coaching actually helped me get to the point where I am the healthiest I've ever been. I've never in my life stuck to a program, a health and fitness program, for 2.5 years. Ever. Nothing has ever stuck for me. The reason this stuck is because, 1, it's a lifestyle, and 2, I'm open about it with the public. I'm open about it with people that follow me. This is my journey, and this is how I'm going to consistently over time keep trying to get better and improve. And people want to be a part of that because they know it's real. And that's why I haven't quit, because I know that there are going to be challenges and things are going to be tough. Every single day I do not wake up thinking, oh my God, I'm going to work out. There's some days I do, and there's a lot of days I don't. But being a coach keeps me in check. So what do we do? Like, what is our job as coaches? Beachbody has a lot of different products, and our staple product, as you can see on the left, is Shakeology, those little colorful containers that you might have seen. That is probably the number one product that people buy from us. And when they purchase this program, they get to be part of something called a challenge group. A challenge group is just a group of people who are all using the same exact program, and we're motivating each other every single day. And I run a group every single month. And so the picture in the center is from our June group. And people share pictures, sweaty selfies. They share pictures of their food. It's a community where we all have the same goals. And as a coach, what you do is you help me run the groups. So we co-run these challenge groups. It doesn't mean you have to go out and all of a sudden just start doing everything on your own. We co-run challenge groups, and we invite people to be a part of this experience. And the really cool thing about coaching is you yourself are part of the challenge group as well. So it encourages you to take care of yourself, follow the program, and work out. Janelle talked about this, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, because I think she did a really good job explaining the difference between that fear of selling and what we really do, which is simply sharing. The post below is from one of my coaches, Natasha, and I love this post because she talks about her struggles. Nowhere in the post does she say, for $100 and something, come and buy this from me. Here's my store link. We don't do that. And I will teach you guys in our coach training how to share as a coach without making your Facebook look like it's a Craigslist ad. Like, that's not what you want. And I know that's what people's fear is. It's like, I don't want to be that person. I don't want you to be that person either. I want you to be a real, authentic person that shares a struggle like Natasha did below. And she talks about all of the struggles that she had in her, not just physical struggles, just how she felt and what she was battling in her head. And people relate to your story. And all we do is tell people, if you need our help, you can come to us. My goal on my Facebook is whether or not you ever purchase something from me, that my Facebook gives you inspiration. That's what I want, is if you never become a customer, that my Facebook is still a place where you can go to, and my Instagram, where you can go to and feel like I left with a positive message. That's what you want people to feel about you, and I will teach you guys how. Okay, so how do you actually earn money as a coach? How do you actually turn this into a business? We make 25% retail commission on any product. So there's a lot of products that Beachbody has, and any product that you sell, you're going to make a 25% commission. And I have a large customer base that continues to order, for example, Shakeology. I have people that continue to order our pre-workouts, our post-workouts. You will continue to make that commission every single time they receive an order. We make bonuses off of the challenge packs that I told you about. And then when you hit certain ranks, you make a monthly and a quarterly bonus for being a star diamond or above coach. You get a matching bonus from your team, as well as a cycle bonus, a diamond bonus, and then there's all sorts of different incentives and rewards. People ask me, can you really earn an income being a Beachbody coach? And I am proof that you can. I was able to quit my corporate job a year and a half after I became a coach. So I do this full time. My husband and I, we do not have the kind of, setup where I can't have an income. Like, we both share that responsibility. So I was able to replace an income, okay, and quit my job. So yes, you can. Was it easy? No. I worked hard for it, and I want to put that out there. But the cool thing about this is you decide what you want to put in. You're going to get out of it what you put into it. So if you go into this with a goal of, I just want to make an extra $500 a month, it would really help my family, you can absolutely do that. And I have quite a few coaches who do that on the side of a full-time job, okay? Do you have a goal of retiring your corporate job like I did? Well, I've done it, so I can show you how to do it. You have to be willing to put the time in, and I did it while I was working. There were definitely sacrifices along the way, but it can be done, and I'm proof that it can be. So yes, you can absolutely earn an income, and you can earn a very stable income. I think a lot of people are nervous that it's going to go like this, and I shared this with a coach the other day, and I didn't realize how monumental it was till I actually sat down and I looked at it. From my first month of coaching to today, I have never gone backwards in income. Never. Not 1 month have I had that was less than the month before. Okay. That's peace of mind. It doesn't mean that every single month exploded bigger than the prior month, but I never went backwards. So when I was able to quit my job, I knew how much minimum would be coming in every single month. I had a goal to increase that, but at least I knew if I keep doing the same thing, I'm going to make what I expect. So there can be a lot of protection in this if you set it up and I teach you how to build your business correctly. So it doesn't have to be one of those things where I'm going to have a month where I make nothing. That should not happen in this business, and I will teach you how. And I have had a couple months, I will share with you guys some personal stuff where there were some health things that went on that I did not work this business very hard. I worked this business hard in 2.5 years. There were a couple months where that did not happen. Things kind of set me back, and I just wasn't able to put as much time into it. And I'm so thankful that I have the kind of job where I wasn't fired for that, right? My income didn't drop those months though, because I built a solid enough team where it didn't increase those months, but I didn't go backwards. Okay, so I want you to know there can be quite a bit of protection in this business if you build it the way I will teach you. So what will this team do for you? I want you guys to think about this with coaching. Your coach that invited you, me, if I invited you, or if you're part of TeamInspired, we will invest in you what you invest in yourself. So if you invest X into yourself, we're going to go ahead and match that effort. We're going to match whatever effort you put into yourself. So if you come into this and you're thinking, I really want to run, then we're going to run with you. Okay. You don't have to run through this all by yourself. We're going to be running right beside you. And if you want to walk in this business, then we will walk right beside you. So this team offers a new coach training and webinar. So you'll be plugged into our new coach training. The new one starts on Monday, so it's actually perfect timing. We also have an option for a do-it-yourself onboarding. So if you don't have time to do a 4-week training, it's all virtual anyways, but let's say you don't have time to do the structured 4-week training, there is an on your own onboarding. And I actually did that when I became a coach, and it's all done on your own time. Works really well if you work in corporate America or you have a very tight schedule. We have weekly team calls, kind of like this Zoom call, and those are all recorded. So if you can't hop on, you can always catch one. You'll have access to all of our old trainings via the team YouTube channel. You'll have one-on-one calls with your upline, depending on what your goal is. There's coaches that I talk to every day. There's coaches that I talk to once a week, and there's coaches that I talk to once a month. It really depends on your goal. We're going to have a vision board group for 2018. We're all about goals, but not just business goals. When I put my goals down together and it's part of a vision group for Beachbody, a lot of those goals are personal goals. And realizing how important goal setting is will trickle into your personal life as well. You'll have tons of access to resource guides, scripts, training from top coaches, and you are joining truly a community. If you look at the pictures on the right, every one of those makes me smile because I remember that moment, and I remember how much fun it is to spend time with my team. And I'm excited about the next chance that we have to spend together. So you're joining a community and truly a family. And our next Diamond Retreat will be in March. So you actually do have time to go. You have to earn that trip, but it is plenty of time for anybody who wanted it to attend. And it's going to be in Lake Tahoe. And that's a trip that I rent a house for our team, for all the coaches who qualify, and pretty much wine and dine you while you're there. Okay, so what does it mean to sign up as a coach, and kind of what bucket do you fall into? Are you going to be a business builder, a discount coach? What does this stuff mean? A discount coach is somebody who wants to use Shakeology, who loves the product, and wants to save some money. They're going to save 25% off every month. They never have to sell anything. They simply just love the product. A hobby coach is someone who maybe likes to use the product, maybe will share it here and there, loves to use the product, shares it here and there, but not going to invest, a whole lot of time. Maybe you just want to make some extra money on the side. That would be a hobby coach. Someone who's all in is like, I am in and I'm going to grow a team and I want to take this thing to the top. Teach me how. you don't have to decide which one you are. Like when I signed up, I was pretty much in the hobby coach arena. I was like, I love the products. People are asking me about them, so I might as well coach them and make a little bit of extra money. But it didn't take long for me to go into the all-in bucket because I just fell in love with it. I mean, it was probably just a few months in and I'm going, okay, I want to do this. So it's not like you have to change your status. You just start jumping all in. Okay, so what happens now? Well, when you say you're in your mind, if you get that feeling and you have that feeling in your gut that says, I know I could do this, you got to turn your brain off because your brain's going to give you all the reasons why you shouldn't. If your heart is saying you want to do it, I want you to reach out to the coach that invited you. And I want you to say, I'm in. I'm ready to do this. Just reach out yourself. Don't wait for us to reach out to you. And we're going to get you enrolled as a coach. We're going to show you how to get enrolled. And we're going to help you pick out your first Beachbody program if you're not already on one and pick out your Shakeology flavor, okay? Then we're going to schedule a one-on-one with your upline coach and get you introduced to the team and get you ramped up for the new coach training. And I apologize, those dates are wrong. The new coach training starts on Monday, December 11th, okay? To be a coach, you have to be proof the products work. What does that mean? It means you shouldn't be out there promoting something if you're not using it yourself. So you definitely have to be on Shakeology and using a program. And what's cool is that right there, you picking your program and your Shakeology, that purchase actually makes you a coach. You can actually sign up to be a coach, make that purchase, and that's the only investment that you need. Now, there's quite a few different packages, so I'll let you discuss with your coach which package is right for you. To give you an idea of what that investment looks like, you're looking at anything from $160 to about $480, depending on which package you feel is right for you, okay? After that, you want to continue drinking Shakeology because that's really the product that most of your customers are going to be drinking. And to be honest, if you've never had it, you're going to be hooked. For 2.5 years, I do not miss Shakeology. It is a part of every single day of my life. I even have a picture getting ready, getting my hair done on my wedding day, drinking my shake. There's no annual fee. There's a business fee per month. It's $16.95, and that is waived if you are military or veteran or an active duty spouse. All right. I am going to stop the share real quick and see if anyone that's on the call right now has any questions for us. Not right now? Okay, so if you do have any questions, I want you guys to reach out to the coach that invited you. I'm going to do a raffle before we're done, but I do want to close with just a couple more, just a little bit more from me that I want you guys to know. You are joining a team that cares about your success. There are quite a few teams in the company, and I know it's probably super biased of me to say this, but you're joining the best team in the company. It's a team that you are never going to feel like you are alone. It's a team where you're going to have moments where you doubt yourself, and I guarantee you someone on that team is going to say, I was in your shoes and I've been there and I know how to help you get out of it. And you're going to walk away as a coach. And I will say, even just 3-4 weeks in, and you're going to feel like this experience has changed me outside of my business, outside of health and fitness. I feel like I'm a more confident person. I feel like I'm a person that smiles more during the day. As cheesy as it sounds, you guys, we are so big on personal development and improving ourselves, not just physically, but mentally, that it's going to trickle into other parts of your life. There's so many things about Beachbody and this team that I even feel has made my relationship with my husband stronger, because I tend to have a more positive outlook and I have less fear about going into things and trying new things. So I hope that my story or one of my coaches connected with you, and I hope that we can welcome you to TeamInspired. I am going to be doing a raffle. In order to be eligible for the raffle, your coach that invited you is going to send you a little form. Please complete that by tomorrow. I'm going to give you guys 24 hours. So we'll say by 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow is when I'll do the raffle. So please have the form in no later than 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to give us a chance to collect everybody's names. And you will get in that raffle a 10-pack of the Beachbody Pre-Workout Energize. I call this Liquid Crack. It is the only pre-workout that I've ever used that does not make me jittery. It's only 100 milligrams of naturally derived caffeine from green tea. And I use this even when I don't work out, you guys. It's like a replacement of coffee for me sometimes because I feel like it doesn't dehydrate me. It gives me mental clarity and focus. It's 100% plant-based, so there's nothing fake, scary in it. It's a pure product. Energize. And you're also going to get this sample pack that comes with Daily Sunshine, which is our new shake for children. Adults can have it as well, but it's pediatrician approved. And then you're going to get a sample of every other one of the Performance line products. The Performance line is the chosen line for the North American Ironman competition, and you'll get one of each of those products to sample, and the Daily Sunshine, and then the 10-pack of Energize. All right, so you know what you need to do. On that form, there's a little question. It's going to say, what is the secret password? The secret password, write this down so you can be eligible to win, is hip, hip, hooray. Don't post it on our page. You have to watch the video to know what the secret password is. Hip, hip, hooray. All right, you guys. Feel free to reach out to me, reach out to the coach that invited you, but I want you to know you have access to me as well. So if there's anything I said or anything you want more information on, I'm on the Coach Sneak Peek. You can send me a friend request and then message me on Facebook, and I'm happy to talk to any one of you. I hope you guys have a really good night. Thank you for hopping on, and thanks Jen and Janelle for sharing your stories. Bye, you guys.